everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, hi, I'm Lindsay. Please hit the little red subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos from me. Today I'm going to be talking about my septum piercing. And I've already done a 30 piercings video. If you haven't seen that, I will have it linked below in the description box if you want to check it out. But I get a lot of questions about my septum piercing, so I thought I would do a FAQ video for you guys and just briefly talk about my septum really quick. As I said in my 30 piercings video, my septum is at an 8 gauge. I did start out at a 16 gauge, and I will show you guys what that looks like. So I got my septum pierced with a 16 gauge, and this is a really small 16. This is what a 16 gauge is, and this is a very small diameter, but this is the actual size of thickness. The thickness of the ring is a 16 gauge, and this is a 1/4 inch. I got it pierced with a 5/16 diameter, which is obviously bigger than this tiny little thing, but yeah, this is the size of it. And then the size I have now is this guy, and this is a 8 gauge. And so a lot of people always ask me, did your septum hurt? Did your septum hurt? Yes, it hurt. It's the needle through your nose. It's going to pinch a little bit. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it didn't hurt at all. And they're lying. Obviously, they felt it. They may not have had a terrible time with the piercing process. It may have been easier for them, but it still hurts a little bit. All piercings are going to hurt a little bit. But for me, it was pretty bad. This was the worst one that I've had. And like I said in my 30 piercings video, it's just purely because I have a lot of scar tissue in my nose, and so it hurt a lot more for me than it does for most people. And stretching it wasn't nearly as bad as piercing it for me. So when you stretch it, you want to go size by size, obviously. You don't want to just skip to a giant size. So I started out at a 16 gauge, and then I went to a 14 gauge. And so stretching your septum is the same way that you stretch your ears. Start off with that 16 gauge, and then to go to a 14 gauge you use a taper, and tapers are like this, and as you can see it has a small end and then a larger end, and they make these in a whole bunch of different sizes. So I had a 14 gauge taper, and I would just take the small end, stick it through your nose, and you just slowly go and push it through to the next size, and then put the jewelry in, right? Follow the jewelry through right after the taper. So that's pretty much how I stretched my septum, and I went from a 14 to a 12 to a 10, and then 10 to an 8. And I think I stretched it over the course of like probably a few months, probably like 2 or 3 months. With the septum piercing, I feel like you can stretch it a little bit faster than earlobes, just because your septum is technically on the inside of your body. It heals a lot faster than your earlobes do when you stretch them, so I would wait a few weeks between stretching my septum, but yeah, it healed pretty quick. It wasn't super painful at a 14 and 12 stretching it, but when I went from a 12 to a 10 and a 10 to an 8, it was pretty painful. Those sizes tend to get a little bit bigger. The gap between sizes tend to get bigger, so it hurts a little bit more to stretch it to those sizes, but it's not that bad. But it wasn't terribly painful or anything. It was pretty easy for me, at least. And a lot of people ask me a lot of people think that it's hard to take these out. It's very easy. You just pretty much unscrew the ball, and you just pull it out like this, and you don't have a septum piercing anymore. And I can put like smaller ones through it if I want to wear a smaller one or clicker or whatever. My nose tends to stay open, the hole in my septum tends to stay open pretty well. I can leave it out for a day or so before it starts to shrink, so I mean, it's great. A septum piercing I think is really good if you want a piercing that you can hide, because you can always take it out, or you can put jewelry in that's not visible, which is really awesome. I think it's a good piercing to have because it's definitely a statement piercing, but you can also get rid of it really easily if you want to, which I think is good for younger people especially. That way you don't have a scar that's always visible in your face if you're worried about that type of thing. A lot of people also ask me if it's hard to blow my nose or do anything with my nose. It's really not hard for me to blow my nose. I just kind of push it forward and go behind it or whatever. It's just I'm used to it now, so it just doesn't really bother me. and if I do like have a cold or something, I can always take it out. It's just like it's really no different than having like a little septum piercing. The normal size gets in the way just as much. It's about the same. A lot of people also say, is it hard to sleep on my piercings? No, not unless I have ones that are currently healing and they're sore. That's really the only time they bother me. I do even sleep on my face and I just don't even notice it. Like after a while, when you have certain piercings, you just get used to them and you don't really notice them anymore. I do, however, as you guys know who watch my makeup videos, I do take my facial piercings out just because it seems easier to just take all of them out quickly and then do my makeup and put them back in rather than try and go around them with my makeup, because I end up getting makeup on my jewelry anyways. So it's just easier for me to take them out because I'm pretty quick at taking them out. So I just take them out and then put it back in after I'm done with my makeup. So it's just easier for me and less of a hassle than going around them and having to clean them all the time. And a lot of people don't like the look of big septum jewelry, and that's fine. You don't have to like it. This is just what I personally like. There used to be a girl on YouTube, and her name was Nicole Greenleaf, and she had the same size septum, and I really loved the way that she looked with it, so I really wanted to stretch mine, and I like the way that it looks on me. So comments about any negativity towards me or my piercings is going to be deleted, so don't even bother. But yeah, I hope that helped you out a little bit. If you have any more questions about anything, please leave them in the comments. I get back to every single one of you. And if you have any more piercing videos that you want me to film, please leave it in the comments and I will film it, because I have a lot to say about piercings. So if you guys have any questions or if there's any specific video that you guys want me to film, please leave it in the comments and I will consider making that video for you guys. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this short FAQ video about my septum piercing, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy this video, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!